just to add on, I feel like the best part about it is just like you're 22, right?
21.
21. Oh shit, we're both 21, and what's super cool is like, bro, like whether we like it or not, we're super young doing what we do, and everything that we mess up on is just like for a better, like whatever we're gonna do tomorrow, you know?
For real.
By practicing something is how we're getting better, and there's no better way to be like actually doing it.
I pulled a lyric from August Alsina from his song called Hip Hop. And this lyric really stood out to me because it's really being thankful for whatever you have at the moment. And although people are hating on you, people can say negative things. You can't ever let what's going on in the world or what somebody's external opinion about you, impact what you're doing.
Right, yeah.
The quote is, every day ain't good, but every day ain't bad. Mama said, always show thanks for what you have. Boy, never forget to realize you're blessed. This cold world can rot you if you let it.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. This is the first episode of the new year. Today, I got a special guest. Fuck him because he fucked up the last files, but it be like that sometimes. He also did charge me to do my new logo, but it be like that sometimes too. But go ahead, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Adrian Almaraz, graphic designer, animator, clothing designer, all that stuff. Let's first talk about how I messed up the video. I don't think I messed it. It was not my fault, but it was on my phone, I guess, and we had to export it. And what was it? What was wrong with it?
So we don't know what happened, but Vic says that Vic might have messed it up, but I blame Adrian because Adrian uploaded it directly to the cloud. And for some reason, I don't know, man. For some reason, one video was good and another wasn't. But we're back here.
We're doing it. We're redoing it, man. Even if it takes us 100 times, we're going to do it till it's right. So that's all that matters, right?
Adrian wants to stay in the zone all 2022.
Zone,
I should have put 2022 on this board. Look at our new board. It's nice and clean. So Sad Boy Radio with Adrian Almaraz.
Let's do this.
Before we get into it, make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to this video. I really appreciate everybody that does watch, and to big things coming in 2022 with our very first guest, my personal graphic designer, the guy that made this brand new logo that looks fucking beautiful, Adrian. So today we're talking about no distractions. No distractions meaning, well, actually, first I want to talk about the logo and talk about your business, right? So no distractions, I wanted you not to be distracted when making that, but it'd be like that. Nah, but go ahead and talk about the company, man. Adrian Almaraz Designs. How's that going for you, man?
It's a great way to start. So yeah, Adrian Almaraz Designs is like my personal business where I do a lot of logo design work and graphic design illustrations for just different businesses. This year I really want to expand on it and just kind of start up my own marketing agency where I can help businesses with like consulting for their brands, help them with just internal branding, obviously still stick to the logo design work and brand strategy and all that stuff, and just and also like helping them with like their social media posts and content calendars and all that. So
and what is it that got you into that?
What got me into it at the beginning was obviously just doing the logo design back when I was in high school, just getting into graphic design and really just just having fun with it. But a lot of what I like is just marketing. That's what I go to school for. I'm a super big fan of Gary Vee. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's like a marketing mogul, marketing genius, and I just kind of really look up to him. And I like what he does, and for me, just marketing's super fun. I want to get into the space and just keep growing my knowledge in it.
Get into the zone. Stay in the zone. Hey, talk about that a little bit, bro. You kept talking about staying in the zone the other night when I was kind of making fun of you, but, what does that mean to you?
So, we'll start off with that night. We were at your crib. It was your birthday.
It wasn't my crib, and it wasn't my birthday.
It wasn't your.
No, we were throwing a party for my graduation.
It was not your crib. It was a party for your graduation, and me and my homie Cole slid through. Shout out to Cole, talking about just staying in the zone. Shout out to actually Gio from Primo too. He kind of like taught me or like kind of got me to think about it a lot. But getting into the zone is basically like being in a headspace where you're resisting like temptations or you're resisting just outside negative energy, and you're just really locked in or dialed into like whatever it is you're doing. Like for me, it's graphic design, and just kind of like going about it with like a certain confidence or swag and trying to stay in it. And it's hard, but once you figure out what your zone is and how you stay in it, it's just a really dope feeling.
Yeah. And man, that's perfect. Perfect segue into my next question, right? Temptation, right? You're surrounded by a lot of it a lot of the time because just the environment, you're in college right now. There's a lot of partying always going on, and You know, just like I talked about before when we were talking about it, you know, I like to mess with you a lot because I'm like, bro, why aren't you going out? You know, so, you know, when it comes to temptation, what do you feel like is your biggest one, and how do you resist it?
Yeah, so temptation is a lot, and it's a lot of self-awareness to know what your temptations are. For me, I feel like I know my biggest temptation is like almost like it's been going out like since my 21st birthday, like just going out and then like spending money and then waking up and just kind of just feeling out of it, feeling out of like out of your pace, just not feeling like you're in control, I guess. Like for example, like you wake up on a Saturday after going out and now you're sleeping till 1 p.m. and there's so much that you could have got done in that time, but you're just not feeling good. You got a headache and all that. And so for me, that's like what a temptation is. There's a lot of temptations, but in order to like, like what we said before, stay in the zone is just resisting those and just dialing in or focusing in on the things that really matter.
Especially like you said, when you go out, you're always, man, there's not like a day where you're just gonna wake up and be like, damn, let me get after it again. And it does take you out of your zone for a little bit, where you don't really have that time to focus on things that you need to be doing. Especially for me, I think that every day I'm always trying to think of something new. I think sometimes it's kind of a battle with myself, because if I stop thinking, or if I stop trying to look for new ideas or things that are going on in my life, I'm not going to have any more content, right?
Yeah.
So for me, going out, although it's a temptation, it's also a content builder, because I'm able to create new memories. I'm able to create new experiences that I'm able to go talk about.
Right.
So as much as I hate it, like, I think that I do a lot of things lately that I've been hating, right? Like being on social media. I hate being on social media, but you have to be on social media to promote the things that are going on.
Yeah.
Going out all the time. I've cut down on it a lot because of COVID and the cold. I fucking hate the cold with a passion. Having to cut it out isn't necessarily the easiest thing, because now I'm not out there meeting as many new people. And man, it's like a good thing because I don't want to be out there, but at the same time, like, it's bad, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like what you mean by that. Sometimes it does feel necessary, like especially doing like the social media stuff. And one thing I would say like that I've been able to do is like I unfollowed like a lot of like thirst traps or whatever. Like I only follow things that inspire me, things that help me evolve, or things that like give me inspiration. If it's not inspiring me, then like there's a lot of things I unfollowed. And if I unfollowed you this year, I'm sorry. But
if I unfollowed you this year, I'm sorry. Hey, he's starting to sound like me in my last episode. You know, for all those people that I fucked over, thank you for the experience, but I'm sorry. But getting back into it, man, no distractions, right? You're really, man, no distractions is just such a hard thing to talk about, and also to realize like, damn, I can't let this impact me like it is impacting me, right? Because a lot of the times you're a product of your environment. I like to think about that in the sense that even when you make it big, you know, you can be the product of your environment from where you started, or you can be the product of your environment currently, right? A person I think about is Ed Sheeran. In a song he made called Beautiful People, that song, he talks about being in LA and all these people who are deemed beautiful, you know, they have all these bad qualities that, you know, they go out all the time, they keep doing all these things, and he realized slowly that, you know, I'm becoming this, and this isn't who I am. I also think about artists such as Jay-Z or Polo G. You know, Jay-Z, where I'm from, Polo G did an interview where he talks about how in Chicago, a lot of the times, you know, the life you live is because of your environment. So talk about that for you. How has your environment impacted you?
Yeah, you're right. Like you, like kind of like how you said at the beginning, like being in college, just being 20, being surrounded with everyone, being surrounded with people who just, you know, like you're in your 20s, they want to go out or they want to, you know, like do different things. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like what the environment I am is, just a college scene. But if you're smart, I feel like you're almost able to control your environment. Just say no. Like the environment has so many different temptations. Some of it is like we just talked about, going out. So a lot of it is also like can be like jealousy or envy, especially in the creative scene when like you're hanging out with a lot of people who also have businesses and stuff like that. A temptation is also being jealous or being envious, and I feel like it's just self-control, like self-awareness almost. You can almost get in a state where you control your environment. If you can control your environment, then you're controlling yourself. You're able to control the things that you do. I hope that makes sense. Does it? Or?
Yeah, no, it does. It definitely does. And that's something I actually do want to get into a little bit later, you know. I have that noted, so we'll get into that.
Oh, let's do it.
But honestly, bro, one piece of advice I would want to offer you, you know, at the moment is just enjoy those college years because
Facts, yeah, you're right.
they fly by, bro. And I find myself thinking a lot of the times like, damn, I wish I really enjoyed it as much as I possibly could have. And obviously COVID got in the way, but it's also like I think back to my freshman year, my freshman and sophomore year, and I'm like, damn, I was having a good ass time, and then everything just took over and I flew by it. And you grow up quick, bro.
I hope I don't sound like too much like I'm not going out at all. Like that's not it. It's more so just, you know, resisting like overdoing it. But I see what you mean for sure. Like I still definitely want to experience that college life for sure. Like, but not like too deep into it where there's almost no self control. But yeah.
So how do you remain focused? How do you say no to these temptations? I know you kind of touched on it, but
My way of just, you know, remaining focused is kind of just looking at like I guess the cost and the opportunity of it. Like if I'm about to go out or if I'm about to do something that's gonna make me maybe not stay focused or dialed in, is it gonna be one memorable? Two, how much money am I spending? Can I afford it? Stuff like that. I mean, it's not that I can't afford it, but a lot of the times when I'm like going out or dropping some money, it's like, bro, like this could have gone towards equipment or lighting or like an add-on, or for like even like me like doing clothing and stuff, it could have gone towards like $100 could go towards like that's like a lot of t-shirts right there, you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess maybe just counting the cost is almost that's how I guess like that's how I stay focused. Like man, another way to just stay focused is just, you know, just do what you like. I guess graphic design, I like developing my skills, refining, sharpening my tools type stuff. So like when I'm not doing anything else, that's kind of what I've been I guess I'm already focused in on it.
you're zoned in all the time. So honestly, it's harder for somebody to pull you out of your zone than it is for you to, you know, be tempted so much.
Right, yeah.
Something that you just mentioned was, you know, in Chicago, there's a lot of people who are envious, being tempted by envy, right? Because distractions aren't always, you know, the good things. They're not always like, oh my gosh, partying, girls, all this shit, right? A lot of the times distractions can come from negative energy and a lot of people just trying to drag you down. I know you've mainly had positive reactions to your drops. You've had positive encouragement throughout, you know, the business. So talk about those negative experiences and how they've kind of impacted you.
I feel like me just starting, I haven't had too many negative reactions where I'm getting kind of like hate or people are just kind of like, you know, like hating what I do. But I know when I do start getting that, that's when I know things are going good. In business, like things aren't always glamorous. Like sometimes like I feel like this year in 2021, I was doing so many things. I was just doing like stuff for Creative Juice, doing stuff for my design page, doing stuff for freelance for other businesses where I almost like was like almost holding too many plates and like almost like half-assing things, and that wasn't glamorous at like just to see like, you know, like, oh man, I could have done so much better on this Creative Juice drop. I could have done so much better on this last logo that I did. Those were like problems that I saw, but going into this year I almost see them as like an opportunity to dial back and then just see how I can go about it.
There's definitely always opportunities for growth, you know, just like you said. Looking back, there's always going to be something that you could have said, something different you could have done. A lot of the times for me, when I look back on my videos or when I'm editing, I'm like, fuck, I should have said this here. I should have said that there. And for me, it's actually like
Learning experience, kind of.
it's a learning experience, but it's also cool to think like, damn, this is what I was thinking in this exact moment, right? Obviously, when I look back, it's going to be easier for me to come up with a more formal answer for anything. But being able to look back and say, damn, I should have said this, it's dope for me.
Just to add on, I feel like the best part about it is just like you're 22, right?
21.
21. Oh shit, we're both 21, and what's super cool is like, bro, like whether we like it or not, we're super young doing what we do, and everything that we mess up on is just like for a better, like whatever we're gonna do tomorrow, you know?
For real.
By practicing something is how we're getting better, and you know, there's no better way to be like actually doing it.
I pulled a lyric from August Alsina from his song called Hip Hop, and this lyric really stood out to me because it's really being thankful for whatever you have at the moment. And although people are hating on you, people can say negative things, you know, you can't ever let what's going on in the world or what somebody's external opinion about you, you know, impact what you're doing.
Right, yeah.
The quote is, every day ain't good, but every day ain't bad. Mama said, always show thanks for what you have, Boy, never forget to realize you're blessed. This cold world can rot you if you let it. And I think about those lyrics, right? Just being thankful for everything that you have, because in this world, a lot of things come and go, right?
Yeah.
I feel bad a lot of the times when I think about that, right? Because last year, so much shit had happened to me
Yeah.
that I just kept going, and it's not being distracted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remaining on the go all the time and just working towards whatever you got going on. And sometimes you forget about the people who are with you that are going through those struggles as well, right? Because everybody's going through something. I like to think about that a lot of the times when I'm at work and I'm helping somebody out, because I can easily be an asshole and say, yo, like, nah, I can't help you out, right? But I know at the end of the day, like, somebody's going through something a lot bigger than my situations. This cold world can rot you if you let it. A lot of people have negative shit to say about you. A lot of people have negative shit going on, so they're just gonna try to bring you down, right? So not letting those negative influences impact you as much. I think you have a really good understanding of that and just remaining positive. Adrian, he was like, man, don't be fucking upset about last week and that shit getting fucked up. He's like, don't let it show on camera, bro. And I'm like, it's not even being upset about the situation. It's like everything else I got going on. It's that but I can't be distracted.
I like what you said about that. A good way to not be distracted is to be thankful for what you have. Almost like be thankful for the situation that you're in. To be thankful that like you just graduated. I'm in college. Like there's a lot of people not even going to college. There's a lot of people that don't even have like families and stuff. But I like that. I think I'm gonna keep that. Like a great way to not be distracted is to be thankful for what you have. And sometimes when you're distracted, it's because, like you said, there's things that are kind of pulling you down, like a negative situation. And that's a distraction right there. And listening to that distraction is a temptation. So like, don't even let it bother you almost.
So talking about distractions, right, and talking about negative energy comes with competition. Just like you said, in Chicago, there's a lot of competition, and a lot of people are envious about what you got going on. Last time we talked, I told you about that tweet that I saw that someone was like, oh, why can't people in Chicago be as supportive as people in Atlanta or be as supportive as people in New York? But we don't see that shit, right? It's not like we're in that city to be able to say, like, these people out in Atlanta, there's some, like, they're assholes, or people out in New York, like, they're assholes. Like, we don't know that.
Yeah, we really don't. I feel like, yeah.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, like, it's, like, we can't fucking dictate what's going on out there, right? The only thing that we know is what's going on in Chicago and how Chicago people are treated. So talk about competition and what you've noticed.
When I see competition, or when I see like I guess for me, competition for me would be like seeing another clothing brand or seeing another logo designer or graphic designer. I almost see it as inspiration. When I see someone doing good, I'm like, damn, that's so good. Like, because like a temptation would be to be envious or be jealous of that. But I feel like when you look at it in the lens of like, man, what they're doing is so dope, man. Like, how can I either like emulate it or do something they're doing in my own way, or how can I even be better than that, So how about you? Like, what do you think for like podcasting and stuff like that?
I mean, personally, like, not even to say anything bad. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that, have the podcast, right? I feel like every podcast has their own niche and every podcast is different, right? So I feel like what I do is a lot different from a lot of other people. And being able to connect music and connect my own personal experiences of what's going on in my life at the time and other people's lives, that's what's most important, having the guests on and letting them talk about what they got going on, right? So I know for you had specifically picked talking about business, talking about the one thing that you do love that isn't necessarily too personal, right? I'm not gonna get your ass, bro. I know too many people know you and are gonna watch this, so I'm not gonna make you talk about no heartbreak shit.
All the ladies out there. Nah.
As far as podcasts, right? I think that I don't view it as competition because I reach out to so many people to do work, right? I reach out to so many different artists, graffiti artists, any type of art you can really think of. I want those people on. Like, if another person has a podcast, trust me, hit me up. I have you on just so you could talk about your podcast, because at the end of the day, we're here to help each other grow. And being able to talk about what you love, I think that's really the most important thing. Like, if somebody loves cooking, man, if you have an opportunity to make a podcast about cooking,
right, bro,
man, all power to you. And this is what I love, being able to talk about music and the lyrics that stem from it, because these situations all are relatable to somebody.
Dude, shout out to you, man. I'm a really big fan of this podcast. Like, this is like, well, I guess technically my second podcast because the first one we did fucked up. But this is really cool. Like, I enjoy it. I like talking. I like the atmosphere. At first, the first one, I feel like I was a little more nervous with the cameras and stuff. But I feel like once you kind of get into the game, it's cool. Like, you can get into like some real conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that was the most important thing about setting this up is being able to talk face to face with somebody about what's going on in their life and just the shit that they're passionate about. That's, man, being able to talk about your passion, it really brightens up your day at the end of the day.
Who doesn't like to talk about, like, you know, their passion, but more importantly, like, their self, like, boasting and shit.
No, but getting back into the competition, right, bro? So for you, you like to learn from people. I get that from you. You know, your positive energy is always like, oh, let me see what I can do better.
Yeah.
You know, can you tell us like an example of when that's occurred?
There's been a few times. I feel like my most recent time of like me realizing that I can do better is that in the past, like just looking back, I feel like for me, I was a lot of looking back in 2021. It was looking at like the drops I had for Creative Juice. It was looking at like design work I've done. And I was just looking back and just thinking, man, like, you know, looking at myself and then looking at, you know, I follow now like a lot of design pages on Instagram and I follow a lot of clothing brands. And that's pretty much what all my feed is about. And I just see so many things, so much inspiration, so much, I guess, competition where I'm just like, man, like, I really want to do a lot better this year. Like, I really want everything I put out into the world to be really good. Like, I want it to, like, for example, like your logo. We spent a whole month on it, but it wasn't a problem to me because I wanted to see the best result, and I think we got it. We'll see what the people say, but I think we did.
I think we picked out all the criticism that they could have had right before we finally decided on how it looked. If you know, you know. But yeah, I think that the logo was really dope, and I really appreciate you putting in that time and effort because I know, man, I thought, you know, I had talked about it before. This is my third time talking about it, but I really had thought that the process was literally going to be, he shows me what he made, me being like, all right, let's go. And that was it. But that was not the process. And Adrian fucking got offended because he thought I was trying to make it seem like he was trying to make it seem like I was saying he didn't know what he was doing. But that wasn't what I was saying. What I was saying is that I honestly, personally didn't realize how long the process took. Just because I didn't think that there was going to be rough draft 1, rough draft 2, rough draft 3. With that being said, you know, I feel like the end result was honestly what we needed and what's going to be perfect. So for you, you know, if you want to talk about that process a little bit, what it was like going into that logo and your whole thought process.
Getting into the process of your logo, let's see. Like we started talking about it in November. We started throwing out some ideas. I was super busy with school, finishing up, so I was like, you know what, let's wait till break. Let's wait till I'm like 100% free, and let's get into it. We got into it. We got with the first, with what you requested was just kind of like just an update of what your old one was. And, you know, I looked at it, spent some time. I remember I was in my room. I got pretty high, and I was just sitting there, and I was having fun. I was listening to music. I felt free, and I was just getting into it. And then I sent you the first draft, and you saw it. You liked it, but you didn't love it, and you had a lot of opinions. And you know, like usually what a beginning graphic designer, they almost like feel like they almost get like down about themselves. They're like, man, like now I have to go back, whatever. But like almost when you're doing a logo, you obviously you want to start with like a great way to like, it's called design thinking. A great way to and the creative process is to come on a project with empathy. And empathy means coming, and it's what the client wants. It's what you want. It's not what I want as a graphic designer. So you have to come in with a logo with first an open mind to all your opinions and everything that you're thinking about it, because number one, it's your logo. And so what was it? It was like the shape of the head, right? And we weren't 100% in love with it, right?
The shape of the head, the ear was fucked up. There were a couple different things.
The lights, you said it was like what, Miami vibes or whatever?
Miami vibes.
Yeah.
Miami vibes.
It was more like a light blue and pink and white. But the basis was there, or whatever. Whatever was there, the seed was planted for sure. And then we kept just, we kept growing off of that. And I really liked how we were able to just bounce ideas together. And and just get it going. Like we weren't what I liked about our process, and I wanted to go into a lot of my processes with everybody else's logos, is to just not really put a time limit on it. Like, you know, like it took a month because obviously we had other things going in our lives, but we didn't rush it at all. And like when you rush a project, it's not gonna look good. Like it's like I feel like another one of my goals for this year is to put my best work out there and do it until I love it. Like I don't want to put like anything that's like 75% done, 25% done. No, there's got to be done 100%.
You know, just like you said, loving what you put out, because at the end of the day, that's your work. That's your legacy that you're leaving behind.
Facts.
I think that's one of the most important things you can do, is focus on what you are putting out and making sure that everybody's gonna love it, right? And not necessarily everybody, because everybody's always gonna have an opinion. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna fucking, you know, like Vic said in the very first episode, there's gonna be somebody that dislikes this video just to fucking dislike it.
Just to be a fucking asshole.
My boy Costa, he was on 2 episodes. I only had 1 dislike ever until he hopped on. And he was the first episode I ever got 2 dislikes on. For no fucking reason. I'm like, damn, bro, who the fuck has a grudge against you that they're over here disliking this shit?
Right.
But, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, not everybody's going to like what you're putting out.
Yeah.
If somebody's not hating, then you're doing something wrong.
Facts. And I feel like, man, you almost want to get to a point where, like, I feel like a dislike is kind of cool, because that's how you know it's like a little push to kind of, like, do better on the next one. I don't wish there was a dislike button on Instagram, but if there was for, like, my logos and shit, I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Just to see, you know? Like, if I get a dislike, then fuck, man, I need to go back to the drawing boards. Or maybe I don't. I mean, it's all opinions, but I don't know.
For me, it's something to talk about, right? Because I can go back and reflect on it and say, the first hate comment I ever got was, it's cringe how you're still tripping over a high school ex and you're in your 20s. And I'm like, bro, this shit ain't even about fucking high school ex. But, you know, for me, it's like, just don't let it distract you, bro. Keep on going, because at the end of the day, nobody else can do it like you.
Yeah, that's right. And then, like, I think I brought him up in our last podcast, but I've been watching, like, over break, I watched a lot of, like, Virgil Abloh videos, rest in peace. But a lot of what he said is, like, your best work, like, bro, like, if you're trying and you're putting out work and you're doing it to, like, the best of your abilities, that's how you, like, you level up and shit. Like, that's how the only way you're going to grow is by trying. And if someone's hating, and what are they doing? But I feel like we know that.
All right, man. So I do got 2 more questions for you. So as a graphic designer, and just personally for you, what is it you want to achieve?
As a graphic designer and as a person, I feel like I want to achieve, for me recently, I've been super, super satisfied with what innovation means. Innovation, obviously, like the dictionary definition of it is just making a valuable product that, like, is a solution to problems. But, like, I really am super, like, infatuated with the term, is just, like, I guess what it means, like, what I'm trying to figure out is, like, how to get in a certain process, or a certain, like, how can I find my process of creating just the best art, I guess. And it all comes with, like, I'm almost creating, like, your own, like, structure, or your own personal blueprint, because no artist, everyone's different. Every artist is different. They all have, like, their own process to whatever it is they're doing. For me as a person, I'm just trying to find out my rhythm, or I'm trying to find out, like, what works for me. I feel like I'm still young, and I'm slowly getting there. I'm slowly getting better at what I do. But I just almost, like, I don't want to perfect it, but I want to work towards perfecting it. So
I used to really love the idea of, like, you're never going to be perfect. I think that nobody's ever going to be perfect, but you can be damn near perfect, you know? You can be as close to perfect as it can get.
You can almost be, like, you know, you can almost, like, play with swag. Like, you know what I mean? I want to be able to get into, like, when I create stuff, I want to create with, like, confidence and swag, like, almost like a basketball player type shit.
One song that I stumbled back upon recently, it's by Ed Sheeran, it's called Eraser.
Mm-hmm.
And in the song it says, I'm well aware of certain things that can destroy a man like me. It goes back to those temptations, right? There's so many things in life that can just bring you down, that, you know, you're tempted by it, you'll go get it, and then the next day, you know, it's all downhill. I think that I've struggled a lot recently with trying to stay on track with a lot of my goals.
Yeah.
Only because I get so caught up in other things. I let my mind take me in so many different directions that I sometimes just forget what's important, And at the end of the day, for people, you just need to remain focused on the very important things, whether that's family, whether that's your craft, whether that's, perfecting whatever you want.
Man, like I feel like that was a problem for me too, was just figuring out what my goals are and like how to get them accomplished. One thing I would suggest, or maybe the piece of advice would be like to like kind of like write down your goals, write down your big goals, but then also break them down to smaller goals. That way you're slowly advancing towards them. Like one thing I did the other day, actually, I have a whiteboard in my room. I wrote down like all my big goals, and then I wrote down like 5 goals smaller underneath all of them, and it's definitely helped because I can like now I'm able to like trace, or I'm able to almost like measure how close I'm getting to them just by slowly, like, all right, if my goal this month is to, let's say, have like start up my marketing agency or whatever, one small goal would be I have to find a structure towards how I can like make a strategy with every client that I get, type stuff like that. So
yeah, I think that's the perfect way to go about it, because that way you're able to visualize the goals every day and get after them. Stay in the zone, bro.
yeah, stay in the zone and see them get done, bro. Like we can do it, bro.
All right, bro. Well, I really appreciate you coming on today. It was definitely a blast, bro. But before we close out the show, you know what we got to do? We got to go ahead and introduce your significant item, bro.
All right, we're going to get into the significant item. My significant item is my laptop. When I was a junior in high school, that's when I first figured I like graphic design. That's when I had like my first graphic design course. And it was my second semester of junior year, and we were going into the summer, and I was no longer going to have my laptop. Like going into that summer, I didn't have my laptop. I got into my first like high school breakup and shit, right? So like that whole summer I was really like depressed. Like I was down bad junior going into my senior year. But
what a simp.
Yeah, simping. But I really, really worked hard that summer, and I mowed a lot of lawns, and I was just being like a young entrepreneur. I was a lifeguard, mowing lawns, whatever. I saved up money for that computer, and ever since then, that computer's been like my best friend. It's been like making me all my money, making all my projects and whatnot. It's gonna be a sad day when I have to replace it, but I think I'm gonna hand it off to my little sister, so it'll be in good hands. But yeah, that's my significant piece for sure.
Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And to the new year for Sad Boy Radio. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.